And in stark contrast to just like bookending a character, well, this year we can finally say goodbye to a decade-long franchise, which is the DC Extended Universe. Just to briefly touch on that, you know.
Good riddance.
Good riddance to that. The less said, the better about those. Again,
wait a minute. So we're not going to get a Blue Beetle too?
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So about the death of the DCEU. But no, look, man, it was just a perfect storm of everything that could go wrong going wrong. The whole content fatigue, the prosecution of Amber Heard, the disinterest in anything that's not Batman, streaming shows everywhere, the whole people knowing that James Gunn's gonna take over, and for a new revitalization.
I find it interesting that Batgirl got cancelled, but then the Flash.
Yeah.
But then they kept going with the Flash.
Why
no matter what.
did they double down on that?
And it just makes me feel like, what the hell did Batgirl do to be cancelled, but the Flash wasn't?
Yeah.
Like, I legit feel like Ezra Miller could have killed someone, and they still would have been like, we're still gonna release it.
This red carpet's as red as the blood of your victims. Oh, man. Why did The Flash, Shazam 2, and Aquaman 2 need to come out? Well, it's because it's kind of a case of the horse has left the barn, and so it's like they've already like too deep into filming, into production, that it's just like it has to be thrown out to be dead on arrival. It had to be something that they've already invested too much into it to just shelve. But then again, yes, again, good point, Batgirl. Why did they shelve that, but then continue on with releasing these three as DOA releases?
Because at least with Batgirl, it would have been a different character, and we wouldn't have known what to expect.
Oh.
Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, and The Flash, they were all characters from other movies or their sequels, so we knew what we were getting. So I think maybe they didn't want to take the gamble of, it's a new character that people aren't familiar with. Because not only did The Flash have The Flash, but you also had Michael Keaton's Batman returning, which was the big selling point for most people.
The only selling point. Like Luke Aegis, our friend Luke Aegis, who was in the Scream review, he had no idea. He is categorized under the general consumer who's not into the whole superhero movie at all. He had no idea The Flash was coming out, and he was like we're talking about people who don't care at all. The whole news about Michael Keaton coming back and stuff, and it's those audiences that that DC is missing and Marvel is missing out on. You just can't get people to care about, even if you're trying to get nostalgia back from like legacy characters that came from like 4 decades ago. People just have not shown up, just despite the cameos from Michael Keaton and George Clooney as well.
Also, so
you just can't get audiences to care about it anymore. Apart from just the criminal charges of the main star. No one cares about movies in general nowadays.
I mean, the test for me was I said to my brothers who are older than me, who grew up, like they were kids when Michael Keaton Batman came out. And I said to them, Michael Keaton is in the new Flash movie as Batman. He's back. And they were like, why? Why? I don't get it. What the
So there's either like indifference or just the whole why aspects. Like why bring back like decades old legacy characters? So they had everything working against it. It wasn't like no Spider-Man No Way Home where people felt the excitement to bring back those characters. This was the opposite then.
It felt like desperation.
Desperation, yes. Just throw in some like cheap lines from like, how much do you weigh? And it's like, you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Instead of it being a crowd pleaser moment, it was just maybe met with that felt obligatory. It felt like he was phoning it in, just trying to do nostalgia bait.
Yeah.
So it was
man.
Indifference or hesitation. It did not feel earned. And people just are not going to the cinemas anymore.